Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Today, I wanted to talk about Christmas traditions. This podcast is being posted later than usual because I'm trying to find some positive things to say about Christmas. I've tried to make this podcast a few times today, but each time I tried, it turned into something negative. So let's talk about the positive aspects of Christmas and the traditions that we have. First of all, in the English-speaking world, our Christmas begins on the 25th of December, Christmas Day. And that's when presents are exchanged. The kids are up early to see what Santa Claus has left them. And the adults get up early too to see the excitement, maybe to take some pictures of the kids opening their presents. And they will enjoy a lovely breakfast together. After that, there's the preparations for dinner. Many people like to go to the oldest member of the family and cook with them and have a lovely dinner. Others, unfortunately, perhaps people who come from smaller families, may just have a smaller dinner, for example, with one or two more people in the house. Despite what you may have seen in American movies of big families sitting around the table, I can honestly say that I don't know any British people who do that. I think I've seen families maybe of 1, 2, or 3 or 4 people, but British people are not very comfortable with family. Many of us don't speak with our siblings, or we have bad relationships with our families, so we simply ignore Christmas. We may send them a card, but we certainly wouldn't want to sit in the same room as them. For bigger families, that's very different. When I was young, I remember my grandmother used to invite all of her children and grandchildren over at Christmas Day and on New Year's Day. I've lived in many different countries, and it seems to me that across Europe at least, Christmas traditions begin on the 24th in the evening. We don't have that here. Christmas Eve is usually a very quiet evening where people just prepare for Christmas Day, which is the big event. We don't really do anything on the evening of the 24th, except perhaps prepare some cooking, or maybe some religious people like to go to the church. America definitely do this better than we do. And if you're watching Christmas movies, you'll see huge families sitting around the table, cutting up the turkey, which is the Christmas dinner, and eating happily and passing on joyous greetings of Happy Christmas to each other. I can honestly say that I've never experienced that at Christmas time. Usually by the time the Christmas meal starts, many people are a little bit drunk and are waiting for the Christmas dinner and then are going to settle down to watch the King's speech and fall asleep on the sofa. For those people who've invited large numbers of people for parties, it's a little bit different. The house will be full, there'll be a bit more vibrancy, a bit more joy, perhaps, and certainly the celebrations will last longer. Christmas night comes and people will almost certainly be drinking more and settling down to watch some Christmas movies. The children by that point will be very tired. There'll be wrapping paper everywhere because everyone's unwrapped their presents, of course, and the day will come to an end when everyone falls asleep. Christmas dinner is often sad because we remember people who are no longer there. And unfortunately, as you get older, there's more and more of those people who are no longer there, which means that Christmas is not a happy time. It's relatively sad. One of the saddest things that I really don't like about Christmas is the fact that neighbors no longer talk to each other. When I was a child, writing out Christmas cards and sending them or handing them to my neighbors was something very beautiful. These days, I keep a book. I keep a note of all the Christmas cards I send and all the Christmas cards I receive. And if I don't receive a Christmas card from someone that I've sent a Christmas card to, I will remove their name from my Christmas card list after the second year. I do appreciate, of course, that many people now don't send Christmas cards. They want to be environmentally friendly, but it seems to me that we all live different lives now. I know my neighbors' names, but I've never received a Christmas card from them. And I don't like the idea that even though they live around me, they very rarely speak with me. Christmas time is a great time of sharing. And because I struggle with this issue of neighbors no longer speaking to each other, and now that my parents are dead and I married late in life, so that means that I don't have any children, I try to make the best of it that I can. Some of the local shopkeepers that I've gotten to know, that I know fairly well now, I gave them some chocolates. For example, my local optician. I went there last week and I told him Happy Christmas, and I gave him a box of chocolates. And then I went to the supermarket I usually go to, and the same woman usually serves me, and I said, Happy Christmas. Thank you for everything you've done for me in the last year. And I gave her some chocolates as well. Language partners around the world, I packed up some chocolates in a box and sent them just to say that I'm grateful for everything that they've helped me with. And of course, Christmas cards as well. I've been sending those to different people around the world. So there's always a way to find joy, even if you're not going to have 10 people around the table. I don't think my table is quite big enough to set a place at the table for those people who have gone. So some people, they have a big table and they might leave a space for the parents. I know that in Poland, it's fairly common, for example, to leave a space for a guest who might come. But when I think about the people who aren't there compared to the people who will be there, then it's a little bit sad. So it's better if I just set my table for 2 people and my cat, who no doubt will smell the chicken and will insist in having a little piece. Putting up the Christmas tree is another joyful ritual, and it's something that I love doing. These rituals are important because they remind us of the joy of Christmas and the happiness that it brings. But unfortunately, putting up the Christmas tree and writing Christmas cards seems to be more of a job, more of a chore. But anyway, it brings me joy and I like it. Last year, I decided that on my Christmas tree, I would write little names of people in my life that I'm grateful for and hang them on the tree. So that meant that I was hanging names of some of my students, some of my friends, my family members, and it made the tree look very, very nice. It also made the tree very, very dangerous, covering it in paper. But covering a tree in paper is not a good idea when the tree has light. Anyway, as always, this year I started to write the names of people that I'm grateful for on bits of paper to hang on my tree. But as usual, I got to the third name and then I thought, I'm not really grateful for this person. I just kind of tolerate them. So then suddenly I had two piles of labels. One pile, one stack for people that I'm grateful for, and another stack for people that I tolerate. And very quickly, the toleration stack grew into another pile. So I had people I was grateful for, people I tolerated, and then people that I wanted to remove. So it seemed that I was having difficulty finding any people to be grateful for. But I'm very happy for all of you who listen to this podcast. I'm sure I don't have any room on my tree to write all of your names, so I'll write a little label which says podcast followers. So this is how I stay positive at Christmas. I like to think of other people and give gifts, even to people that I don't know so well. I don't do it for them, I do it for myself in the spirit of Christmas. And I believe that's what Christmas is all about. Well, that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed this. Let's talk again soon. Bye.